So the thing is, if you have anything, really, anything wrong with you, with your physical body, you probably have low stomach acid. You don't have enough stomach acid. So before you start taking probiotics, of course it's good to change your diet so you're eating very, very vibrant food, very easily digested food. But get this fixed first. That, I think this is just so wonderful. Let's see what this woman, Aga Postawska, AGA, Postawska or Postawska. I'll write it under this. I think this is one of the most intelligent things I've read for a very long time. She has a very wonderful way of describing this. I think it's 11 pages of intelligence. I don't need my glasses, that's wonderful, because I'm in the light. In God's beautiful creation. Okay, let's go. One of the first steps to healing candida overgrowth, SIBO, parasites, or any other health issue is making sure you are producing proper amounts of stomach acid. I know what you may be thinking. When I say the word stomach acid, the first thing that usually comes to people's minds are evil stomach acid health problems like acid reflux or heartburn. In these cases, acid blocking or neutralizing medication are often prescribed, but these quick fixes are not a long-term solution. They only make the problem worse down the line. Americans don't have a stomach acid problem in the sense that we're producing too much stomach acid and that it needs to be downregulated. It's that we are producing too little stomach acid. So according to Jonathan Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T, who has examined thousands of his patients using Heidelberg gastric telemetry, he says an estimated 90% of Americans produce too little stomach acid. Low stomach acid is also called hypochlorhydria. It is an epidemic that is affecting up to half of our population. It is commonly overlooked and rarely discussed when addressing health issues. Low stomach acid production is linked to numerous, if not all, health complications. This is just so wonderful. Common symptoms of low stomach acid: digestive distress, indigestion, acid reflux, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, gas, belching, heaviness after meals, undigested bits of food in stool, yellow stool, rectal itching. Digestive disorders: IBS, IBD, Crohn's, celiac, gastritis, stomach and duodenum ulcers, leaky gut. Autoimmune conditions and food allergies. Gut dysbiosis, parasite infections, SIBO, yeast overgrowth and candida fungus, overgrowth of H. pylori in the stomach. So I'm just reading all these different things. Mineral and vitamin and amino acid fat-soluble vitamin deficiencies. See, when we don't have enough acid, we simply don't get the vitamins from this beautiful food that we're eating. Vitamins, minerals, fats. So she goes on: calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, boron, iron, zinc, B12, vitamins A, D, E, and K, and omegas. And then she goes on: heavy metal retention and toxicity, because when you haven't got enough minerals in your body, you actually suck the heavy metals into your system because the body actually thinks they're minerals. Scary. Neurological disease and mood dysregulation. So actually all mental disease probably comes from this. Brittle bones, brittle nails and hair loss, adrenal exhaustion and chronic fatigue, dry skin and acne, bad breath and body odor. And so she has this little thing here. If you aren't breaking down your food, you aren't assimilating nutrients properly, at best you are wasting your money on grocery bills. Someone called Nora Gedgaudas. Imagine hundreds of dominoes lined up in an intricate design, weaving in and out, up and down. You've spent weeks putting it together, and now it's time to push over the first domino to begin the majestic dance of falling dominoes. Your stomach acid is that first domino of your digestive system. Everything is in perfect place, ready to go, but without that first domino, nothing can happen. The entire conveyor belt of digestion becomes totally skewed. You can be eating mouthfuls of lavish, vitamin-rich organic foods, but without proper stomach acid production, your food isn't feeding you, only feeding nutrient deficiencies. The food will come through your digestive tract rancid, fermenting where it shouldn't, causing bloating, gas, acid reflux, inflammation and irritation, and creating toxic compounds that wreak havoc on all your organs. The putrid sludge moves through your digestive system, leading to microvilli damage, which then further exasperates nutrient deficiencies and leaky gut, which is poorly digested foods enter your bloodstream and cause chaotic immune system response, autoimmune disorders, and allergies. Proteins like casein and gluten get turned into opiate-like substances, casomorphine and gliadomorphine, which makes their way to the brain to cause abnormal brain activity and interrupted development. These compounds exacerbate conditions such as autism, depression, and schizophrenia. There's this saying in Ayurvedic medicine, take care of your agni, and your agni will take care of you. And your agni is your digestive fire, the feeling you have when you're very hungry and you have this, I'm ready to eat. This fire in you needs to be very strong, burning really well. So she says here, agni is your digestive fire. Hippocrates, the father of modern-day medicine, also taught all disease begins in the gut. So naturally, all health begins here too. A strong digestive system is the foundation of your wellness and healthy stomach acid production of your wellness. And healthy stomach production is the number one issue or number one thing we have to look at. So she goes on here to 6 key functions of the stomach acid. So let's go. 1, it sterilizes food and prevents foodborne disease by killing pathogenic bacteria. Number 2, it breaks down proteins into amino acids for proper absorption. Number 3, it stimulates the release of 2 important digestive hormones called secretin and cholecystokinin, I think it's called. These 2 hormones that tell your pancreas and small intestines to produce digestive enzymes, protective mucus, and a bicarbonate solution. So that was number 3. Number 4, it activates the release of bile to begin the breakdown of fats. Number 5, it activates intrinsic factor. This is a glycoprotein made in the stomach that is needed for vitamin B12 absorption. And the last one, number 6, is sphincter control. So the acids, they trigger the closing of the esophageal sphincter, which is at the top of the stomach, to protect the delicate tissue of the esophagus from the harsh acids of the stomach. And opening the pyloric sphincter, or valve, to move food into the small intestines. So our stomach has these 2 valves at the top and at the bottom, and when there's enough acid, these valves are working perfectly because we don't want the food coming back up, and we don't want the food coming out before it's ready. So it also regulates these, of course. So let's have a look at the causes of low stomach acid. There's a whole lot of things. Number 1, the overuse of antibiotics, which leads to the next cause of low stomach acid, gut dysbiosis, candida overgrowth, SIBO parasites overgrowth of H. pylori in the stomach further stunt stomach acid secretion, as I said before. They all make sure we don't produce stomach acid because that's what they love. So another cause is use of proton pump inhibitors. Stomach acid blocking medications prevent the production of hydrochloric acid, which is stomach acid, hydrochloric acid. Overuse of NSAIDs, so that's painkillers. These medications damage the stomach lining and stunt the stomach cells to produce HCl, which is hydrochloric acid. Stress, of course. When we're stressed, we're unhappy, we don't love ourselves. Of course, we're not producing enough stomach acids because we really don't want to live. And it's a very quick way to kill ourselves. Just make sure we can't digest. So stress, of course. Nutrient deficiency, especially B vitamins, zinc and vitamin C, as these are some of the key nutrients involved in stomach acid production. Poor diet. A high carbohydrate diet filled with processed foods and devoid in proteins stunts HCl production. Low functioning thyroid. And age, because as we age, it's actually natural that we produce less and less HCl. Eating too quickly, eating too much in one sitting. So if you eat too quickly, you're not actually focused on your food. You're not chewing your food well. You're actually distracted. You're just not present with your food. You're not producing enough acid. And also food sensitivities. If we're sensitive to gluten, corn, soya, pasteurized dairy, peanuts, food sensitivities trigger the immune system, which puts us in a state of fight and flight, stunting the digestive processes. So it's actually all biting itself in the tail, because when we have low stomach acid, we get food allergies, food sensitivities. When we have food sensitivities, we produce less stomach acid. It's all just one big knot. So she goes on, stomach acid. Oh, this is Natasha Campbell McBride who says this here. People with abnormal gut flora, almost without exception, have low stomach acid production. Toxins produced by overgrowth of Candida species, Clostridia, and other pathogens have strong ability to reduce secretion of stomach acid. So she goes on, stomach acid is your first line of defense. Your stomach is extremely acidic, not just to stimulate healthy digestion, but to also serve as your first line of defense against invading pathogens, trying to hitch a ride into your intestines on the food you eat. Your stomach acid is meant to kill any parasites attempting to sneak in. In a healthy digestive tract, the stomach is the least populated organ. Very little bacteria should be living in your stomach. However, if you're not producing enough stomach acid, for whatever reason mentioned above, be it the overuse of antibiotics, poor diet or stress, you become extremely vulnerable to parasites, foodborne illnesses and SIBO. The under-acidic environment allows opportunistic bacteria like Helicobacter pylori, Campylobacter pylori, Enterobacteria, Candida yeast, Salmonella, E. coli, and Streptococci to proliferate and dominate the stomach and gut lining. These pathogenic organisms play a role in causing stomach cancer, ulcers, and gastritis. Many of these bad bacteria can also further stunt the production of your stomach acid by suppressing the function of the cells in the stomach that are involved in HCl production. Normally the carbohydrates and sugars you eat would be digested and fermented in the intestines, but with these bacteria living in your stomach, they begin to prematurely ferment your food in the stomach. So sad. This causes unpleasant sensations such as gas, belching, burping, bloating, etc. So interesting. Not only that, but as these bacteria begin to break down the food in your stomach, they create toxic byproducts like alcohol and acetaldehyde, that rapidly get absorbed into your bloodstream through your stomach walls. This can cause experiences of brain fog, fatigue, and nausea. So when we've had a meal and we feel exhausted, that's probably what's happening. It's all fermenting, and all this fermentation is going into our blood, and we just... so sad. Okay. So the domino effect of low stomach acid. To get a better understanding and gain a deeper appreciation of the important role your stomach acid plays, let's journey through the digestive tube, tracing the footsteps of your food and learning some tips along the way to stronger digestion and better health. My camera is a little bit, does something funny once in a while, so this video was cut off. So I'll continue just this little bit, and then the rest of the videos are from that day. I made them the first day. So sometimes our technical stuff just doesn't work as we like, and that's okay. So, and I didn't want to delete the whole video because I thought it was good. So here's a little jump to right now. And we've just had the domino effect of low stomach acid. And this is really what is explained here with these different stages of the digestion. So the first stage of digestion, this woman calls digestive foreplay. Digestion actually begins in your brain. You must switch into your parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, to stimulate healthy digestion. Stress paralyzes normal digestive function and inhibits the secretion of your hydrochloric acid and your other digestive juices. Next time you're about to enjoy a meal, stop for a moment and really see and appreciate the food on your plate. You can try to imagine it in your head right now. This is a bit like foreplay for your digestion. Breathe in the pleasant aromas of your favorite dish. See the vibrant colors. Observe the texture and presentation. Notice how your mouth begins to water just thinking about it. Now you're ready to start eating. Most of us, however, don't take the time to do this. We absent-mindedly gobble down our food in a few short bites. Poorly half-chewed food causes the need for more stomach acid, which begins to put the first hindrance on your digestive system. So, yeah, this is very much. I just gobbled down this glass of milk. I just threw it in there. I mean, silly. It's just like so many things in life, because life has become so hectic, and we do so much, and we want to do so much, and if we're not really doing much, we can feel this nervousness. Or I just know for myself, I love to do lots of things, but I also know that it's not really very healthy to do lots of things, and especially not lots of things while you're eating. So winding down, becoming more present with what we're actually doing, of course it affects our digestive system. So yeah, it's really one of the little steps in this whole journey of starting to love ourselves, is to allow ourselves to be present with a meal. And it might mean that you have to go for yourself and without eating with the family, because often when we're eating together, we're talking all the time, and suddenly all the food's gone. Where did it go? And I mean, food has become such a very social thing, because for many of us, we don't really do much else other than eat together. But it is lovely to eat together too. So, yeah. So just go with what your heart guides you to. So in the next video we'll continue with these stages of digestion. So, see you!